everybody, it's me, Stan, with The Basement. Most of you probably know me if you're watching this video. It's just about Christmas time, and usually about this time of year, I have a tendency to go out and pick myself up a, whatever they call it, a booster brick of a D&D Mini, as I have a little bit of extra cash floating around, and this year is no different. This time, I decided to go with Icons of the Realm, Descent into Avernus. This would be a loose one. I did get 4 of them as a gift from Ross. Thank you, Ross, because he knows that I'm totally into it. This is the only one of those 4 left because I could not just sit here with 12 boxes and not open any because obviously they're very cool. That being said, I will show you the pieces that I have gotten, and I'm going to have to read what they are because I don't have them memorized. First and foremost, I've got this Barnabas the Flame Skull. I'm going to put it right here so you guys can see it. It's the most disappointing piece. It's still kind of cool. It's got a little head inside the flames, but it's got a little cheesy face, like, digitally placed on it. But still, I'm sure I'll find use for it. Next, I've got this here, which is a Babbo, which I will most definitely find use for. Kind of a cool little piece. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. And we'll scoot him back so you guys can get a better shot at what he looks like. Kind of a cool little piece. Next, I have he is Amnezu. Once again, these are all pieces that I could have definitely used, as there is a lot of Devils and Demons going on in my current campaign. I actually opened these after the December session, but that's alright. I'll find plenty of use for them. This is probably one of the best looking pieces that I've got. Kind of cool. I've got one Legion Bearded Devil here, which will definitely get some use. Let me back him up a little. Kind of a cool little piece. Interesting. I've got some bad reflection going on here, and I apologize for that. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to eliminate that. Let's see if I move the camera over a little bit, if I can get rid of some of that. We'll move him over there. So yeah, one of them. Next, I've got 3 of them, 2 different sculpts, which would be the Legion Barbed Devils. I've got this one, which is the cooler of them, with his axe and fire. And then I've got 2 of this one. I don't know if they're going to all fit. No, they're not. Can't see this one. I'll put them back behind here. Those will definitely get some use moving forward. It's something that you can always use in a campaign if you're dealing with Devils and Demons. So I got 3 of those in total. Then I got, what's a Quasit? Unigue's Quasit. Another little tiny piece here. Don't know if I'm going to use it or not. Interesting piece. Not the greatest sculpt in the world, but not bad. I've seen far worse. Next, we go to the Glabrezu, which will definitely get some use. A large piece. Glabrezus are definitely going to show up in my campaign, so it's cool that I got one. I believe I already had one, but this one is actually cool too, and I will definitely use it. There was already one in the plans, so he will definitely see some use. Then I have Unigue's Hezru, which Hezru is always handy to have. Once again, another piece that will definitely get some use. Nothing particularly planned at the moment for it, but definitely something that will show up in the campaign. On the final one, this actually counted as 2 pieces, but it's very cool. It starts off, it's Narzagon and the Nightmare. And you have the Nightmare piece, which is interesting. And then it comes, the second piece that counts as part of it is the legs for the guy. And you have your choice. You can either put on this little saddle piece and have him riding it, which I'm not going to put that on, as I shake everything. Or you can put on an actual saddle for him to be dismounted, see if I can get this to sit on there right. Let's just pick it up, huh? That. So the Nightmare gets the saddle, and then the guy, to get his upper torso, you can put it on his legs, or you could put it in the saddle and on horseback. Which I may use the Nightmare. I'm not sure. I don't have anything planned, but I could see him being used, and it's a cool, really cool sculpt. Fairly well painted, not great, but good, and yeah, just a really cool piece, especially with the ability to take him on and off the horse. So that being said, without further ado, let's move into the opening. Alright, so box number 1. I've got 9 boxes total. I should have probably had my knife. Ooh, sweet. I can tell it's sweet already. We're going to start off with small pieces. Just because it's the easiest way to start off. And we start off with another Babbo, which I already have. That's alright. Because the big pieces is very, very cool. And another Closet. And the third and final small piece in here. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's an Abyssal Chicken. Didn't think I was going to be using an Abyssal Chicken, but nonetheless, kind of interesting. However, this piece is really fucking sweet. Wow. The detail is very well done. I very much could see myself using this in many different... I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get him on. His name is Zariel. Very cool looking piece here. Which will almost most definitely get some use somehow, some way in my campaign. He is pretty sweet. It's pretty tough to tell. His wings are kind of see-through. He's got the flame wreathed around his head. A very cool piece. So, now we move on to the actual box. Right off the bat, I'm pretty happy. I've gotten a lot of pieces that I will get use out of. So, hooray! I suppose I could have left him on the other piece, but if I get a Pit Fiend or a Horn Devil, I'd be pretty happy too, because that's something else that will definitely get used. So, moving forward. Well then, large piece, still cool, but we'll get to that in a moment. We're going to start off with a Bullazau. Satyr looking dude. Kind of cool. And I'm sure I'm butchering names. I've never been good at pronouncing anything, so my apologies. You can correct me in the comments. The Firbolg Druid, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a cool druid piece. May see some use. The third small piece is yet another Abyssal Chicken. Didn't know I needed one Abyssal Chicken, much less multiple Abyssal Chickens, but sure. And for the big piece is another Glabrezu, which may or may not get used. I'm sure it will. So yeah, I'll put this guy back behind. He's kind of bigger. I don't like the fact that he came kind of bent. Because every time I try to adjust these things, I've got a whole drawer of pieces that need to be fixed because of me trying to straighten things out, or just them getting broken in the shuffle. Not that I'm not careful with stuff, but there's a lot going on, and sometimes in that shuffle, things get broken. So, box 3 of the opening, box 2 of the booster box. Oh, sweet. Oh, I've got broken pieces in the box. That's always promising. We'll have to see where it broke off of. For starters, we've got a Legion Spined Devil, which is pretty cool. I will definitely use that. What do we got here? It's yet another closet. So now we're starting to see multiples of some of the figures that I wasn't really intending on using. This is kind of disappointing, but the big piece will make up for it because we've got yet another one of the Flame Skulls. This Flame Skull doesn't have the exterior digital. I guess this one, yeah, that's on the outside on this one, and it's on the inside on this one. I don't know if the camera would pick that up, but it's interesting because one of them it looks like they imaged the face on the exterior, and one of them, oh yeah, it is definitely broken. It is yet another Zariel who came with a broken Warhammer. There's the Warhammer, broken. And there's Zariel, again. So he will be a fix-it. I don't really need two of him, so I'm not that concerned. But it always stinks when you get a broken bit. I was kind of hoping it would have something else, but so be it. That box, not the greatest box I pulled. But I get it. It's got shipped to me, so those things happen. Next. Big piece is a new one, it looks like. But we'll start with the smalls, as usual. That's another Babbo, but it's a different sculpt. I mean, same sculpt, different position, doesn't have a stick. Abyssal Maw, I believe. A Maw Demon, which is an Abyssal Maw. I never really use the Abyssal Maws. I guess I could. I just never have. And last but not least is a Legion Imp, which that's actually cool. He's got like the fire coming off his back. Kind of dig that Imp. Unfortunately, the party did not struggle a whole lot with him yet. Oh, I guess I did already have this. Barlgura. Well, I didn't have this particular one, but I do have one. But it'll get used, and it's that's another cool piece. I'm kind of digging the sculpt on it, and the spines and what have you. I don't think it's the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely solid. So yeah. So we've done 4 of 9. Moving on to number 5, just over halfway. Let's see what box 5 holds. I'm going to break this pen at some point. Boxes, it doesn't matter. Alright, in box 5. Well, I can see by the bottom of the piece that I am happy with the big one. It's something I will use, but we'll get there momentarily. Starting off with the smalls. Haramon, which is actually, other than the fact that his sword is bendy, that's kind of a cool sculpt. Kind of dig that. I've gotten a whole lot more doubles than I'm used to. A Legion Spined Devil, which I already have one of. Although that other one has a shield, this one has like a trident or a spear. And I'll still use it. It will definitely, all of these will, the common demons will get used. And that's another Legion Barb Devil, the sculpt that I only had one of. Nonetheless, we'll still see play. And then we've got the Legion Ice Devil, which this piece is kind of cool too. I'm digging the armor on it. Very Centurion looking. with his spear. I kind of like that. It's a cool looking piece. I'm happy with that. Something I definitely will use. Alright. So, we're in the latter half now. Tear open some packaging. And what will this box contain? Way back when, I would have never guessed I would have got this big into minis. I mean, we used to play D&D with just whatever we could find. It didn't matter. A lot of times we didn't even use minis, but I kind of just am into minis. It's just the way it is. I'm liking the big piece once again, but we'll start with the smalls. A Naparibo, which that is a disgusting looking sculpt, intentionally. Looks like a bloat zombie, I guess. I honestly don't know what it is. I don't know everything. And we've got Unigo's Dretch, which Dretches are very useful at lower levels. I don't imagine I will be throwing a whole lot of Dretches at the players right now, but you never know, I could. They make good distractions. That's a really cool piece. Marinoloth. If I knew what was going on, it would be a whole different story. He looks kind of like the gatekeeper of some sort. It's a cool looking piece. This is a very good box. Whoops. And then Mickey the Flesh Golem. Mickey the Flesh Golem is kind of a disgusting looking piece, but nonetheless, will definitely see some use. It's always good to have a flesh golem. They definitely have their place in most campaigns, so we'll move him back. So far, pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with the pulls. It does mean that I'm going to have to reorganize my minis again, because I've got to find room for all of these guys, which is a continuous struggle. So, this one is third from last. Starting with the small pieces. Maragon. Kind of a cool looking piece. Gold armor, big poleaxe. Moving forward. Who might this be? Oh, it's a Lemure. Not a poop monster. Has been called poop monster. And then another Babbo, because you can never have too many, evidently. Which will probably see use, but whatever. And another duplicate here of Yugo's Hezru. However, Hezrus are always useful. So, he will find a home somewhere. Very much expanding the devils and demons I have in my miniature library. I believe currently I only have 2 drawers of the medium-sized drawers of them. And anybody who's watched our D&D content, there's just a lot of, well, especially the stuff that's going on right now, because I'm dealing with a ridiculously large party, so there's a lot getting thrown at people. A lot of times it's just find a piece of the proper size that people can easily differentiate. So, all right. Hey, just what I always wanted. Another flame skull. But, so be it. You run that risk. So far, the flame skull is probably the most disappointing sculpt out of everything. So, I've gotten 3. I had a total of 12 boxes that I opened. I mean, not on screen, but in total. This is a pretty well done sculpt. Mahadi. Looking like maybe a Rakshasa. That's probably what I will use him as. And once again, I obviously will use this piece, even though I have several of them. That being the Legion Barb Devil 2-wax figure. And the large in this particular set is Yaglunoth, which is actually kind of a cool sculpt. Got some fire in his hands, got his book at his chest. He'll probably get some use. So, not bad. The chances seem to be thoroughly dwindling that I'm going to get either. Well, I only got one box left, so I'm definitely not getting both of the pieces. But I kind of wanted either a Horn Devil or a Pit Fiend. I may just have to go online and pick them up, which, so be it. I don't foresee myself buying another booster box or booster case of these unless somebody gives it to me as a gift. Just because I've gotten so many doubles already. Pretty tough for me to make that a priority. So we've got yet another Barbed Devil, but now we're starting to reach the point where I don't know if they'll ever all see use, but you never know. Another Imp, that likely will at some point. And yet another Maragon. He's just hanging out. And my final large piece is an Armonite. Pretty interesting sculpt on it. I'm kind of enjoying the sculpt. It's not bad. Not what I was looking for, but that's alright. I got to assume that some of these pieces are probably rare, like the one that came broken there. But so be it. So, that was my my boxes of the new Icon set. Well, it's not really new anymore, but new to me. Before I finish up here, I'll get another shot of all of the pieces I picked up, and yeah, it's fun. It's always fun opening them, and I'll have use for them. There's always a D&D campaign going on in the basement. Right now, there's only 3, but you know, I should be thankful that I can have 3 separate campaigns. 1 I'm playing in and 2 I'm DMing. Not everybody has the people around, so I very much appreciate it, and you never know, maybe a 4th campaign will start up. Probably not with D20 Modern on the horizon, but you never know. Maybe. So, without further ado, I'm going to just swing the camera around here and try to get a shot of everything I got. Let's zoom it out. That would be my collection this time. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Leave your comments down below. If you got questions about my minis collection, what I have, what I don't have, you want suggestions from me about what sets I found to be the best or get the most use out of, or you just want to chat something D&D related, I'm not an expert by any means. However, I do enjoy talking about D&D. So without further ado, thanks a lot, guys. Leave your comments down below. If you want to see more content like this, click that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments. I will most certainly do more. And we will see you all in the next video, whatever it may be. Thanks, guys. Later.